Game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Ow. Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door,
or is it more than
Dr. Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This weekend only, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait, this is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
This holiday season, Snyder AC Plumbing and Electric is giving back to one local hero with the Holiday Heroes HVAC giveaway. Nominate a local hero for a chance to win a brand new HVAC system. Ideal submissions can range from frontline workers such as nurses, teachers, law enforcement, firefighters, and veterans, to the unsung heroes like tutors or coaches who give it their all outside of their 9 to 5. Nomination deadline is December 16th. Go to SnyderAC.com/holidayheroes to nominate now.
Know someone who struggles with swallowing or discomfort during meals? Esophageal conditions like eosinophilic esophagitis can turn enjoyable moments into challenging ones. Join Borland Grover gastroenterologist Dr. Ali Lankanrani and executive editor of MedEvidence Dr. Michael Koren for a free luncheon at our studios on January 24th and take a deep dive into the latest research and treatments in digestive health. Empower yourself with knowledge that could improve your quality of life or that of a loved one. To reserve your seat, email medevent@cmg.com. That's medevent@cmg.com.
How to protect my intellectual property. The ability to take a new idea and successfully commercialize it is how many companies gain a competitive foothold in the marketplace. It is essential to protect proprietary information about a unique application of technology or product's design features. At SCORE, we recognize the greater interest from our clients about protecting intellectual property rights. We have volunteers with IP experience and provide more workshops on this topic. Learn how SCORE can address your IP questions by going to score.org/Jacksonville to schedule an appointment with a counselor or register for an upcoming workshop.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine is a fully accredited, tuition-free state public school that gives children an edge for a lifetime of success. FSDB is nationally recognized for its educational services designed for students' unique communication and accessibility needs. Eligible pre-K and kindergarten through 12th grade students benefit from small class sizes, advanced technology, and various recreation, extracurricular, and performing arts activities. Transportation and boarding services are free to any eligible deaf or blind student, kindergarten through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. My name is Trent Ferguson, and I'm a proud graduate of this wonderful school. This place changes lives. To learn more information or to apply for enrollment, call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
Breaking news from ESPN's Todd Archer. Cowboys linebacker DeMarvion Overshown for the ACL, MCL, and PCL in his right knee last night and is scheduled for surgery this week. He'll be the 13th Dallas player on injured reserve. A day after Eagles defensive end Brandon Graham reacted to receiver A.J. Brown's criticism of their passing game by suggesting the relationship between Brown and quarterback Jalen Hurts wasn't as good as it once was because things had changed. Graham attempted to set the record straight. On the WIP morning show today, he apologized, attempted to walk back the comments, expressed optimism the team would emerge stronger. Philly does not need all this unnecessary noise heading into Week 15, notes ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday.
What do you think the Eagles are going to deal with the entirety of this week going into a massive game with the Pittsburgh Steelers? What's going on in your locker room? Is this going to be another implosion like last year? Can you guys hold it together? Nick Sirianni, what can you do to fix this? What can you do, A.J. Brown? What can you do, Hurts?
Steelers receiver George Pickens likely out Sunday against Philly because of a hamstring injury.
Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back? Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Alert the media! We're here. Howdy, Brian. Welcome to the Aaron Schachter Show. Oh, you're singing. I thought you were talking to me. I was like, can't hear you if you're talking to me. Welcome in, friends. I'm Aaron Schachter, Brian Middleton, the one singing the song that you can't necessarily hear, but trust me, he's singing it.
Can you not hear me?
No.
Interesting.
Now I can.
I didn't do anything.
I feel like your mic was off.
No, it wasn't.
I feel like you're playing games right now. Trying to trip me out, making me believe I'm on an ashwagandha journey.
That'd be a crazy journey.
I'll tell you what, man. Jags on the precipice of a 2-game win streak can make all of us feel like an ashwagandha journey. Did you even think win streaks were possible in 2024?
Yeah, just not for the Jags.
It's a thing. It's a thing that could possibly happen.
Is it a thing?
Yes. Brian, they're about to take on the Jets. They're about to take it. The Jets couldn't beat SMU right now.
Oh, I forgot. I'm dealing with a despondent Jags fan.
Despondent?
Yeah, I hope I used that. It felt right. I heard Reg Jones use that before during hurricane coverage.
I'm a Jets fan, not a Jags fan. I'm only a Jags fan when the Jets make me mad.
That even makes it even worse.
Yeah.
So you're a secondary Jags fan only to the New York Jets?
I am despondent.
So I used it correctly.
You did. And quite frankly, can you think of anything more depressing than going, hey, when my plan A of being a Jets fan fails, I'm going to go ahead and be a Jags fan with plan B.
It's hard to follow you sometimes, man, when I think about that. You got a lot of wins, though.
Listen.
Just NFL-wise, it's hard to follow you.
Sometimes when you're hurt throughout your whole life, you become familiar and comfortable with it. Sometimes you feel comfort in the pain, in the abuse from your favorite teams. You're like, you know what? I don't think I would like following a winning franchise. Because one day the winning stops. And you never know when that day is coming. No one ever tells you this is the last time team's going to be good. But when you have a perpetual loser, when your favorite team misses the playoffs 14 years in a row, looking at me, Jags fan, like you got it hard. When your favorite team in the league is a literal punchline laughing stock. At least Jaguars fans every couple of years get, oh, wow, Jags are trendy. Jags are the nice pick. When your team is a miserable punchline,
that was not.
There's comfort. No. Comfort, Brian. Predictability. I know what to expect.
That was not the national punchline or prognostication for the Jets pre-Achilles injury for Aaron Rodgers, which was just last year, I guess technically, last season before what?
I don't know what outlets you've been following. Sure, there were some out there.
No. Stop. On the Aaron Schachter Show, I can't believe I just told Aaron Schachter to stop, but he stopped for a second, so what we're going to do.
Let's do it.
Is just keep it for a moment. Aaron Schachter, the release of Zachary Wilson.
Yeah.
Mr. Steal Your Mom.
Mr. Steal Your Mom.
And the addition of Aaron William Rodgers.
Oh, graham cracker leg.
There was a floating in the air amongst 99% of Jets faithful.
Not accurate.
Not media, the Jets faithful.
Not accurate.
Fireman Ed, happy.
They kicked him out of the building. Get out of here. No, the media, yes. Fans knew what was up. Fans know.
Come on, man.
Fans know. Jets are going to Jets, just like Jags fans. You know, you guys get all excited, and then there's a contingent of you who are realists. And you go, okay, I would love to be excited about this. I would love to be excited about a young core of players. Trevor Lawrence does look like he can ascend to something great. Christian Kirk is playing better here than he's ever played anywhere else. BTJ doesn't look like the 5th wide receiver off the board. Like, there's lots of stuff to be excited about. And then there's a contingent of realists who go, yeah, but Jags are going to Jags. You can't tell me they don't exist.
But it's not one of these things that it's the prevailing thought going into the season. And especially this season, because Aaron Rodgers was every bit the hero last year.
No.
Was not even playing.
Not the hero, no.
Back on the sidelines, giving the team a little bit of hope, even though the team shouldn't have any
Literally,
hope.
that was it. He was a gimmick for hope last year. You see the way this man plays this year with an ankle basically cast from steel wool.
Okay.
No flex whatsoever. It bends like a oyster cracker.
Boy. Wow, man, huh?
You see that this year.
Okay.
And you go, imagine what that would have been like had he rushed it back last year. Had the Jets made the playoffs and he made good on his promise to come back from his Achilles tear 6 months after it happened. It'd be wild.
Wild.
They'd put him in a shotgun 37 yards from center. They'd basically have to hike it to him in the tunnel from anywhere before the 50-yard line. Because you look at him today, he barely moves. That's a year plus. So don't tell me. Don't tell me hero.
I'm telling you.
Don't tell me optimism.
There was optimism. You looked at Garrett Wilson, you was like, hey, he has a quarterback. As long as the Achilles decide not to come from Timu or still wool ankle. They use that one. Feels like an oyster cracker. Just crumples up, huh?
That's what I'm talking about.
That was great. He should be a poet.
Step, you need a broom, follow this man around with a dustbuster or something.
Breece Hall said, you know what, injury or not, I'm going to be back and I'm that dude.
All right, because Garrett Wilson hasn't said that at all. Garrett Wilson, the rumor is he's looking to leave.
Well, now, because they're saying, Aaron Rodgers. Now it makes sense. Now I agree that the Jets fans are like, Jets are going to jet, right?
Yes.
The defense alone last season and the season prior was like, hey, man, all we need is somebody who won't be incompetent like Mom Steeler back there.
Well, sorry, bud. Ain't going to happen on that franchise.
So you predict the Jags win?
At least here in Jacksonville.
No.
There is a sliver of hope.
We believe lies. That's not sliver of hope. That's delusion, which is fine. I fall into that every third preseason game.
Yep.
Yeah, right around when we go undefeated.
Sure.
What? Jags 10 to 12 wins. Easy money.
Best team ever assembled.
Easy money. You hear me? That's different than hope. You guys had real hope, and you should have had real hope. The equation added up on paper. You guys should be an 11 to 13 win team this year.
Yeah. Yeah, football's going to football. This is why my friends don't really understand it, but I know you get it. You saw all this Juan Soto news over the past couple of
days. Yeah, I saw that. Holy smokes.
So Juan Soto, for those who don't follow baseball, is the most hotly contested free agent since last year, essentially, since Shohei Ohtani went to a different team. But Juan Soto out there getting a mega deal. He had 4 or 5 teams vying for his services. All of the offers were north of $700 million over 15 years. Mets lock him up. I believe the official count was $765 over 15 years, plus bonuses and escalators that could make that contract north of $800 million when it was all said and done.
Cooking.
Yankees offered $700 for 16. No. They offered $760 for 16. So one less year, $5 million less dollars. And then my friends are like, you got to be excited. Soto's a young guy. He's not even really in his prime yet.
Not even.
He's not even there yet.
Not there.
MVP caliber player, postseason chops. Aaron, how are you not excited? I'm like, did you not see what team he signed with?
Aaron.
Did you not see? It's going to be great for a couple of months, and then it will collapse. That's all. They teach me. That's all.
And then it will collapse. Well, with that kind of attitude, it will, Aaron.
Oh, it's on me. Okay.
It's on you. You got to have some belief. You got to say, you know what? This is the time we break these bondage chains of loser mentality and lack of belief in oneself. This is the team. This is the year. This is the season. We got our guy. We got a solid team, the good team already coming back. And we're going to put it on every last one of our opponents once we hit the postseason. This the year right here. Stop playing with us.
And then collapse.
But you got to have the belief. Eventually, you're going to hit. Oh, man.
I've convinced myself I am way more comfortable and happy to just watch a losing season than to ride that roller coaster. I'm just happy to be here, guys. Happy to be included in the NFL schedule. Appreciate you guys for hosting the Jets this week. It'll be nice to see my team's colors in the stadium, on the field. It's like the only team who travels to Jacksonville with no fans. It's fine. Reality is we don't have fans. We have people who tolerate the Jets. I get it. I've been there a long time. So, shout out to the Jags on their second win in a row.
Shout out to the weather, by the way. I wanted to go to the beach when I got in the car this morning, but I had to come to work.
A little balmy, huh?
Yeah.
Going to be near 80 today, or is it already there? What's the 77 is what I'm seeing, Brian.
Man, I'll ride right down to Jack's Beach right now.
Breaking news, 77 degrees outside. Welcome to winter in Jacksonville.
Well, tomorrow it's supposed to be the same energy, right?
I have no idea. I don't check the weather. I'm not a nerd, Brian.
Okay. You just decide. You spin the wheel and you say, you know what? I'm going to wear shorts today.
That's right.
I'm going to wear shorts today.
That's me.
Okay.
Shorts,
right.
Sandals, flip-flops, maybe a sleeveless T-shirt.
Do that Friday. But then again, you're from New York, so maybe that'll still be summer weather to you.
I can't believe I just riled myself up in this first segment about the Jets. This show has got nothing to do with the Jets, and you got me there.
Well, you were giving the Jags a compliment, so we can get back there. Do you believe in 2 in a row winning streaks with the Jags? And I said, probably not. But with this schedule right here, yeah, sure, they got a shot.
I believe in 2 in a row.
You don't think the Jets reset in Duval? You don't think this is Aaron Rodgers played decent last week, right?
He played great.
Okay.
That's my point.
He's licking his chops.
They were up by 2 touchdowns. That's my point. They still found a way to lose. It's just how they do it.
Okay.
Just how they do it. No biggie. Jaguars have an easy one this weekend. Don't worry about it.
You're not going to get me. You're not going to get me with this. Woe is me. You guys got it. And then he's going to come in here on Monday doing his Mark Jackson shimmy, talking about, hey, Jets, Jets. You guys couldn't even beat New York.
I doubt that'd even be the topic. If the Jets beat the Jags, I doubt I would mention it. Forget it.
How much of the game did you watch?
Which game? The Jets or Jags game?
The Jags game. I'm sorry. It's my...
Pretty much all of it.
Okay.
I mean, despite... no offense, shout out to my family. Despite being at my daughter's birthday party.
She'd be all right.
I gave my wife a real talking to on that one.
Hey, man. Oh, boy. Hey, hold on, Aaron. Hold on.
Go ahead. Get all the accoutrements going.
All right, Aaron. Say it one more time. This time with feeling.
I gave my wife a real talking to on that one, Brian.
Yeah, boy. What'd you say to her?
I was like, what do you do? What do you mean the birthday party starts at 2? You know it's Sunday, right?
To this day.
She goes, so?
Oh.
And I was like, 2 o'clock on a Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you expecting to come? And then she's like, all the moms of the girls I invited? And I was like, oh, yeah. Well, does that mean I don't have to go? She gave me a really, one of those divorce looks. I've seen those before. I'm an expert in those.
What's a divorce look?
Oh, it's the look you get. Brow? It's the look you get right before she picks up the speed dial to someone with Esquire on the end of their name.
Okay. Hey, well, joke's on you. Everything's in my mom's name. I heard that's how you do it now, men. Okay? That's how you do it.
Yeah, Big Lou knows. Just ask him. It was, we had both kids' birthday party this weekend.
Yeah.
And so, we got a little boy and a little girl, in addition to my big girl, whose birthday is not this time of year. And so I said to my wife, I'll take on the boys' party, you take on the girls' party. Despite my wife not really believing in gender roles, even though I'm the one who takes out the garbage. Just remember that one.
And not Robert enters the house.
You know what I mean? Who's coming
paper,
after?
rock, scissors.
Honey, I'll get the kids and the dog. You take on the intruders. Here's a bat. See ya. Get out of here.
Oh,
nonsense.
Man.
Anyway, so I do the boys' party on Saturday morning, too. Got it out of the way. Just in time for the rest of the sports day. Because I know how to do things. My wife comes along with a 2 o'clock Sunday start. What are you doing?
2 o'clock.
Right?
The menace behavior.
Was at a beautiful park.
Oh, okay.
In lovely Duval County. So I took opportunities to walk presents to and from the pavilion and the playground. And on my walk, you pull open the phone, you take a look down at the game, you watch for a little, you disappear for 10 minutes, get a text from my wife, where'd you go?
I went to the car, I had to go get something.
I'm by the table, I'll be right back.
After the third quarter.
Yeah, well, no, that was the point, is that, you watch the first quarter and you go, it's going to be one of these games. And then, I'm sparsely watching second and third quarter. By the time I open on the fourth quarter, I go, I haven't missed much at all.
No.
Not really.
It really didn't.
Yeah.
That's wicked behavior, though. 2 p.m. on a football
Should
Sunday.
Be illegal.
She knew what she was doing.
I mean, the city should be like, we don't let people reserve parks for that time.
2 p.m.?
Like, if you want to walk in there on your own as a person, that's your prerogative, but we're not going to allow you to gather publicly during football. Sorry.
That reservation was absolutely free at 2 p.m.
100%.
on a football Sunday.
100%. Listen, if you know my wife, it doesn't matter where the reservation, when the reservation, it's going to be free.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, man, that's a win.
For her. I'm a man of means. I like to flex that wealth a little bit. Oh, look at these gold-studded shoelaces I've got on. She's looking for a Groupon for a used tire for her car. You're not supposed to buy those used. You need them fresh, new.
They got a spot up here on Beach Boulevard, though.
I've seen it.
You know what I'm talking about?
She's a frequent flyer over there.
I'm like, okay. What's the warranty on this?
I was like, how is it a savings if you need 6 new used tires every year?
Don't you worry about it. I just need something to get me to Christmas.
Right. Or just home before I need the next used tire.
Oh, boy. 6 for $29.99.
Used tire is something I never understood until, of course, I needed a tire and I had like $30 in the bank account. And I was like, used tires are great.
Yeah, it's like, oh, no. Mr. Hottie Toddy. Huh? You too big for used tires.
Too big.
Well,
man, did you see the breaking news? I don't know if it's real breaking news. We'll give it one of these. As I was getting ready for the show, I saw a few reports now saying it's confirmed, but I'm only seeing that from people and not outlets. Bill Belichick to UNC. Sounds like the offer has been officially made to the hoodie, and he's considering.
What matrix are we in? Like, is this the blue pill or the red pill? Like, what in the world? Can anybody talk me through how this happens?
I have a couple of details on this, courtesy of Ollie Connolly. Ollie is a newsletter writer. But
he's a what?
For read optional. He also writes for The Guardian, the U.S. version. But, he's covered NFL. He's covered college football. He's been a scout. He's been a recruiting analyst. He mainly focuses on college football. He claims, it's actually something you brought up to me that I didn't realize was a story until I went and go looked for it. But according to sources, Bill Belichick's negotiations with North Carolina include a guarantee. Obviously, Stephen Belichick, his son, will be named the school's head coach in waiting. That UNC is open to that guarantee. And that these discussions are not a bid for leverage so that the NFL moves on Belichick. According to Ollie, Belichick gave the folks at UNC a 400-page organizational Bible, is what he called it. 400 pages with structures for the organization, payment plans for the coaches he wants to hire.
Wow.
Staffing choices for those positions. He's got the staff already chosen. Decisions on whether to commit with UNC should be coming within the next 24 hours. According to Connolly, he says the Bible also would require historic levels of investment from the school. That includes salary minimums, position by position for coaches, a willingness to hire 2 staffs. You get the coaching staff run by Belichick, and then a recruitment staff, essentially a front office run by a sitting college GM who's employed somewhere. We don't know this person's name. It would require a buyout to bring this person to the organization, to UNC. So Belichick has a college and a pro version of this Bible, by the way. He has shared it with some other schools and some NFL teams. I'm assuming Atlanta might be one of those teams. That's who he interviewed with last year. But he actually drafted a new one specific to UNC. It touched every aspect of the program and the school. Obviously, it would need sign-off from the athletic director, the chancellor, the trustees, the boosters. And according to Ollie Connolly, there has already been pushback from the higher-up folks at UNC, the group of 13 trustees, and then input from wider faculty giving a little pushback as well. According to Ollie, the investment would overhaul the school's approach to football. Belichick unsure if the school will meet his demands. He is, however, unwilling to negotiate, which is like a leverage point he can afford.
Yeah.
He doesn't need UNC.
At all.
They win if they get Belichick.
They do.
So he could say, I'm not going to negotiate. But then if no NFL teams come calling, you may see him back at that table. You might remember last year, he only had one interview. He did not drum interest, and there were openings. A few. It was really only Atlanta, and quite frankly, if you look at how quick Arthur Blank moved on Raheem Morris, he may have never even considered Belichick. May have just met with him to pick his brain. Kind of in the way it's reported that the Cons want to.
Get this booklet from him.
You know what I mean? Get the Bible, upload it to Google or ChatGPT.
Be like, thanks, but no thanks.
Tailor it to your organization, re-download the thing, and get on with it. It would be funny if we hired ChatGPT instead of a real general manager next year.
It's coming. Oh, next year. Okay.
Next year. And then we said head-to-head, tail of the tape, Trent Baalke versus ChatGPT. I want to see who does better. They'd be in the middle of the war room at the draft, seconds ticking down. Less than a minute left to hand the card in. And so the front office guys are like, all right, ChatGPT, who should we take? ChatGPT's like, I'm sorry. I only have info up to 2021. I can't help you today. So suddenly it's the best GM for free agents, but he can't do anything in the draft. It's kind of like Baalke. A little bit in that sense.
Interesting.
All right, let's get on with the show, Brian. Let's go get to break. We'll come back. We'll start with all the press conferences and the Jaguars audio. 904-362-9901 is the phone number here on the Aaron Schachter Show if you want to jump in. Haven't heard from the boys in a couple of days. Shout out to Kilkenny and Steven who are in the chat already. Appreciate you guys being with the show, and to everyone else, including those of you who complained yesterday. We'll be talking about you in a couple of minutes here on the Aaron Schachter Show. Back in a minute on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A warm day today under partly cloudy skies with afternoon highs near 80 degrees. Becoming cloudy tonight with a scattered shower late as we only drop into the mid-60s. We'll have some rain for your Wednesday. Have an umbrella handy. Those showers will diminish west to east by later in the day as temperatures fall into the 50s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Now through Christmas Eve, save up to 44% off store-wide at Beard's Diamonds.
Have you added a new puppy to your family? Forever Vets now has puppy socials every month to help your fur baby get used to the other puppies in a safe and secure environment. Parents stay for the social, and Forever Vets trained vet techs will be there to answer questions. Forever Vets will also provide a puppy goodie bag and pup cups for your fur baby, along with some great discounts on services. All puppies under 1 year old with appropriate up-to-date shots are welcome. You must sign up in advance, so visit forevervets.com to get more info on how to register. That's forevervets.com.
Elevate your live music experience with Daly's Place Blue. Live like a VIP with the best seats in the house, premium parking, your own private entrance, VIP lounge access, guaranteed tickets to sold-out shows, and much more. Coming to Daly's Place in 2025, the legendary Rod Stewart February 25th, and Teddy Swims performing with Freak Freely May 10th. You'll never want to see a show any other way once you go blue. Learn more at dailysplace.com or call 904-633-2000. That's 904-633-2000.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners. So you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Get ready to celebrate December with Best Bet. We're giving away an incredible $660,000 in cash and prizes. Kickstart your holiday fun in Jacksonville with amazing promotions like the 12 Days of Christmas High Hands and $500 High Hand Fridays. At Best Bet Orange Park and St. Augustine, don't miss out on thrilling tournaments and $300 every 15 minutes table game giveaways. For all the details, head over to bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Garber Auto Mall is home of the lifetime warranty. Every new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevy, Buick, GMC, and Ford comes with a lifetime warranty. At Garber Auto Mall, your purchase is covered for life. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Hey folks, Dave Binion here with Zero Res. At Zero Res, we love rugs. We will treat your fine Oriental rugs with the tender and loving care they deserve. Gerard, the Zero Res rug manager, is one of the few certified master rug cleaners in Florida. If you want your rugs cleaned with tender loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, get your rugs washed and we will give you 25% off. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Hey there, you in aisle 2. I see you by the fiber and laxatives. You still using those to manage your constipation with belly pain? If your symptoms keep coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. So you may need more than over-the-counter treatments to manage it. Ask your doctor about how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hey, you.
What's good, my boy?
Connect with us on Instagram. Search for @ESPN690Jax and check out the latest sports news. We're ESPN 690.
What?
We are ESPN 690.
As long as you're tracking.
Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, that's on me, bro.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Are you trying to rub that in my face?
No. You look out for me.
Turnabout is fair play?
I was looking out for you. I couldn't hear you.
You couldn't hear me because my...
What?
Now I turned it back on.
Okay.
That's why. How dare you rub that in my face? I would never. I think I said this last time. I don't know what song this is.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what song this is?
I know who they're cutting over and over again. Yeah. It's Mariah Carey.
Well... It's an easy voice to know.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this song.
Yeah, it's one of these dubstep mixes. I'm surprised that Facebook didn't let you know, hey, man.
They will, I'm sure.
Yeah, this one especially.
I'll
But
see
Mariah
you later
Carey,
today.
Any version of Mariah Carey, her team is on it.
Sure.
Hey, Aaron, before
Yes,
you
sir.
get into the show, man,
Yes, sir.
just a heads up to everybody. College basketball is on ESPN 690 this evening.
This isn't the Jimmy V Classic, is it?
That's what I'm talking about, my boy. Take it away.
Okay, we got a doubleheader going. You got Miami taking on number 1 Tennessee.
Yeah.
The Vols getting it done this season. Tip off at 6:30 p.m.
Yes, sir.
And then the follow-up game right after that, Michigats versus Arkansas. That tip-off is at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Whenever I think Razorback basketball, I think about Corliss Williamson. You remember that name?
One of the greats.
From the 90s.
One of the greats.
He was one of those dudes. I remember watching him as a kid. I go, is he fat or just strong? I couldn't tell. He was one of those dudes with a real hefty chest, but not really a big belly. It's almost kind of like 50-plus-year-old Diesel guys look. When they have those old man chest, old man strength. Look like they used to box with their hands upside down. Put them up. Come on. One of those guys.
Corliss Williamson, 51 years old, 6'7", 245.
Yeah, that was his playing weight.
Yeah, listed weight. Yeah. It's his listed weight. I don't know what he is now.
He's a big dude, but I think he was mostly beef. I think he was mostly muscle. Okay. He's one of those, like, first of all, when you're playing power forward at 6'7", you know you got a body. You got a Barkley body.
Oh, okay.
That's terrible.
That's what you got. Because these days, you got to be 6'9", 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah.
You're playing the power forward down low, banging with these 7'1", 120-pound centers that are in the league.
Wow, Aaron. Okay.
Wembanyama. Has he broken 100 pounds yet? And then you saw this kid, the number 1 commit was, I can't say his name. Is it Bantassa?
Mm-hmm.
He committed to BYU. And the expectation there is that the record-breaking NIL deal he signed was what brought him there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're claiming $5 million a year, possibly.
Ever been to Brigham Young's campus?
Mm-hmm. I have never been there.
A lot of bunnies.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A lot of bunnies.
In the literal and figurative sense.
Absolutely, man.
And you talk about, not only is it going to be a white Christmas, it's going to be a white everything out Brigham Young all year round. Doesn't matter what the season is, Brian.
Snow in the summer, my boy.
Maybe part of that NIL package was a couple of wives for him. You know, they like to do that out there in Utah as well.
Holy smokes.
Hell no.
I know.
It's not my tradition.
Ain't my rules, bruh.
But I'm not lying. Not making it up.
Just reporting the news.
Just saying how it goes.
All right, man. A couple of wives. Oh, man.
Man, we talking.
Okay, if that's how you feel, that's what your goals are, then you go do that. As opposed to the goals closer to home, which is winning 2 in a row. Come on, baby.
Couple of wins versus a couple of wives.
Let's
I got
go,
you.
Jaguars.
Yes, sir.
Bring on the second straight win. Doug Peterson talking yesterday, giving an update on the team. This is from yesterday, right? Not right after the game?
Right.
One of the surprises from Sunday, no one really knew about until the game started, or really right before the game started, was the surprise inactive of Anton Harrison. And people were curious about what went on over there. Doug Peterson talking about it on Monday, giving us an update.
I haven't seen Anton. The players were just basically in for a lift and then out today. We didn't meet with the players. Just illness from yesterday. Just woke up with it. We had a couple guys actually. D. Ham was another one that we, was sick Saturday. Anton was a little bit sick and woke up in not too good of a shape, for the game obviously, and couldn't make it. But imagine he's feeling better today. Sav was fine today. Everybody. Evan's going to have a little bit of a shoulder in the game, but everybody else came out good.
All right, so the Jags relatively healthy with the exception of a pretty big block on that offensive line. Your starting right tackle, Anton Harrison, sounds like he'll be fine for the next game. Yeah, Jordan kind of ruined being sick and sitting out for everybody. Didn't he? I mean, flu game, anytime I hear someone sitting out sick, I'm like, oh, Jordan scored like 50, didn't he?
First of all, was it really the flu? I heard he ate something bad.
Oh, you think it's food poison? That's worse than the flu.
Or maybe he was drinking a little too much gambling and drinking before.
Hangover, I would say, if we're going to power rank sicknesses as reasons not to play a sporting event.
Right.
I would say the most devastating would be food poisoning. Because any small movement of the juices in your belly is going to end up exiting whatever else is in there. One way or another.
That's true.
One way or another.
And the moment you quick jerk.
Literally. You could duct tape your mouth up. It's not going to stop the exit. So I get sitting out the game if you've got food poisoning, especially offensive linemen banging those bodies. Then again, those old school guys would just vomit on you.
Probably.
Aim right into the mask or the ear hole so you can't even clean it out. What do you do? Imagine being a defensive tackle at the bottom of a pile and through that ear hole comes last night's sushi. Oh, awful. Oh, I would retire. I don't care what age, first quarter, fourth quarter.
Really?
I would quit.
You hit him in a halftime exit?
I'd be like, Coach, you take the signing bonus back. I got to clean this spicy tuna out of my earlobe. Oof.
Well, that's all in your hair too, man.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Marinated. Sweat. Yeah, boy.
It's gross, Brian. So, okay, food poisoning, fine. Flu, you're talking body aches, fatigue.
It's tough.
Okay, so I see it being difficult. Maybe you're vomiting. But is it keeping you out of the game? I guess for some, yeah. For others, it makes them score, 50-something points. What was the other one we were talking about? Food poisoning, flu, and then you thought, what, a hangover?
You might have been drinking a little too hard.
Hangover is tough, but you get IVs for that. It's no big deal. You're in the locker room.
I've never had a hangover. I couldn't tell you.
You're in the locker room. You get an IV for it. You got your fluids back before the start of the game. You're gold. You're golden.
I feel like you got some stories where you had to go out and play.
Oh, some real dudes like Dennis Rodman and just be in the locker room drinking margaritas and Bloody Marys anyway.
Nah, that's different. He was a throwback even during that time period to when they were, smoking in between quarters right there on the bench and then going out there and running back and forth for 15 straight minutes in the second quarter. Dennis Rodman, he's an outlier even for these guys who push the limits as athletes, man.
He is a superhero when it comes to imbibing alcohol, isn't he?
They told me about, or you watched the MJ documentary.
I did, yeah.
The Dennis Rodman part is just
wild. It's wild, but if you live through it, which I did, you go, this makes total sense.
That sounds about right.
That sounds about right. It's so crazy. But it also just goes to show you how different personalities interact with each other, because ain't no way Michael Jordan's letting Steve Kerr go to Vegas, or BJ Armstrong, or Bill Cartwright. He finds Bill Cartwright at the blackjack table. He's grabbing him by the neck, dragging him back to Chicago.
You might have just called up the front office and be like, hey, we don't need this guy anymore.
Yeah.
No, we don't
when
need
it's
him
Rodman,
anymore.
they show up at the suite. They're like,
hey, dog.
Excuse me, Mr. Rodman. Would you mind coming back to the team? We need you for this finals game right here. You don't want no piece of Dennis Rodman with the Chumbawamba haircut.
Which is a great lesson, for life. You know what I mean? If your execution calls for it, you can get special rules. You can get special treatment.
That is true.
In any avenue.
I don't know that it's fair.
Doesn't have to be fair.
But it is true. It is true. We've seen it up close and personal.
Wow. Okay.
We have.
Like in the building?
Yeah, I'm not trying to name names.
Okay, my bad. That's what I'm laughing. Like, oh,
yeah,
boy.
I'm not trying to talk out of school. I'm just saying Rich Jones gets everything handed to him.
Oh. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We got breaking news?
No, you said Rich Jones.
Oh.
Everything handed to him. Breaking news. I didn't know that one.
I wasn't trying to spotlight
I knew he was a bit of a golden boy. I just didn't know that it was absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah. What about you, Aaron?
I don't get any special treatment.
Wow. Execute better.
They barely let me do a radio show.
They do barely let you do that. If you get to do it 3 times a week, you know what I mean? It's a good week.
Speaking of which, we were out yesterday, and I posted a clip on the various social medias because we were out. I figured, why not give the people a little taste, a little love, a little content. It was about not firing Doug Peterson just yet.
Yeah.
Just yet. Maybe ultimately the Jaguars fire Doug Peterson, but anyone who's hungering for it right now, just hold your horses just a little bit. Just be patient. And apparently, a lot of people like that clip, so shout out. Thank you guys for consuming the content. But there was one person on our Facebook page who had a different kind of feedback for us.
Okay.
Shout out to Glenn. I'm not trying to call out his last name, I don't think. I don't know. He's always commenting on ESPN 690 stuff.
Nice.
So, it's cool. Thank you. Thank you for being around.
Absolutely, man.
Appreciate you, Glenn. He's all excited. He goes, a Jaguar win. And no show today? He goes, why don't you try to get an actual show going?
Ooh.
Hand to the face.
Yeah.
Damn.
Glenn, you had to be like that, my boy.
So I read it over a couple of times.
Okay.
I was trying to decipher who really owns the insult here. Is he trying to say that me and you don't have a real show going because we're not on Monday? Or is he trying to say the station should get a local show going on Monday because there was a Jaguars win? Because the answer to that will change the way I react to the comment a lot.
The disrespect was definitely geared towards us just not being on a Monday.
So we're not even a real show?
Well, if you can't make the promise that you're going to be on after a Jaguars win, Aaron Schachter, some would argue like, Glenn, no, you're not.
All right, Glenn, then why don't you kick rocks, buddy?
No, don't Glenn. No,
Glenn can kick rocks.
Hold on. Whoa.
I don't need Glenn on my Facebook.
Man, hold on, man, because Glenn, he watches.
Oh.
Just not often enough to know that, it's a coin flip on whether or not we show up on Monday.
Okay. Sorry about that, Glenn. That's my fault.
A little emotional right there.
Yeah,
though.
I lost my head a little bit.
You leaned back on the kick rocks. I haven't seen that often.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Glenn. And I thank you for being around.
Wait for the punchline.
There's no punchline.
Nah, he's drawing you in.
No.
Hold on. Where's the punchline, Aaron?
I'm just trying to be a nicer guy as we approach 2025. That's all. A kinder, gentler me.
Okay.
No punchline. What are you waiting on?
You said no punchline.
You've got the I'm waiting on it face.
No, you're not drawing me in. That's what that face is. So the rest of you listening, no punchline.
Just say I'm happy Glenn's a fan.
That's a random.
And if Glenn wants us to do shows on Monday, then I hear him.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll take it into consideration.
I hear him.
Yo, why you coming at Glenn, man? Glenn wants you to be your best. Glenn is acting as both a listener and a coach. He's like, listen, man, you got to show up for the people, Aaron Schachter.
All right.
The people want Aaron Schachter and the Aaron Schachter show.
Are you sure?
We need you to show up, Aaron.
Because sometimes they just want someone to throw rocks at. And like, I'm cool with that. I'll be that guy. You ever go to Top Golf, Brian?
I've been, yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, over at Top Golf, if you're not too familiar with swinging the golf club, if you just go to hang out, one of the fun activities, really, of any golf driving range, is when the guy is driving around the little golf cart with the rake on it to pick up the golf balls. Suddenly, everyone bellies up to the tee, trying to hit this guy in the golf cart.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm the guy in the golf cart, and people like Glenn are standing there on the tee going, yeah, buddy, get in that golf cart, because here she comes.
Listen, Aaron, when you put yourself out there, man, you got to take the good with the bad. You're the quarterback. You're the Trevor Lawrence of ESPN 690.
You got my 275?
Well, it's not. Listen, I'm not Shah Khan. I'm not the owner. You got to take it. I think the owner or the big boss was just here about 3 weeks ago.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You should have took that up with CEO York.
Big boss York. Can I get that money?
That's where you go. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But that's not me. I'm just telling you what your position is. So you got to own that. You got to stand in it, Aaron Schachter.
Yes,
we
sir.
believe in you.
Okay.
And that's all Glenn is saying to you, man. That's all Glenn is saying to you.
Okay.
Show up when you're supposed to show up.
That's not bad advice.
I can tell people why we didn't show up, though, if it'll soften the blow.
You shouldn't
for
feel
anybody.
like you have to. It's fine. We can move on.
Okay.
Doug was talking about why Brian Thomas Jr. started going off in the second half of the game. He was asked about it. This seems to be like a thing that happens with BTJ, doesn't it? Not every game, but if he's going to be slow in a half, not speed slow, if his numbers are going to accumulate slowly, I should say, because he's too fast to be called slow. But if he's going to have a quiet half, it's never going to be the second half. I wonder why that is. Is it just because he would be having a strong first half if we were looking at him? Or is it because the secondary starts to get tired a little bit and BTJ can go for days? Is it because BTJ is organically, naturally good at adjustments? And you only need to learn this kid a couple of times with a DB on a route before he gets him. Any one of those could be true. All of them could be true. Let's see what Doug thinks it is.
It felt like Brian didn't get started till later in the game. And it wasn't for not calling plays his direction, because we did. The ball.
Do you think that's a shot at BTJ? Because a couple of weeks ago now they asked Brian about why he didn't get started. He goes, I don't know. I'm not calling the plays. I don't know.
I don't think it's a shot at BTJ. I think it's him covering him in press, whoever's still calling the plays.
You think it's a CYA move to the media?
Yeah. I think
you
that's
think
what it
Doug's
is.
like, and before you go accusing,
Absolutely is.
we called the plays. So now look, I'm not saying he's on purpose throwing someone under the bus. But if he's saying what he's saying, we called the plays, and he's not throwing BTJ on the tracks. Seems to me he's throwing McCorkle on the tracks.
Fine. He's like, and? Okay. Who would you rather throw under the... Now, if Trevor was there, because I don't think he feels Trevor.
I'm not doing that, Cal. You don't think Doug likes Trevor.
I don't think... It's not like...
Let's pause. We'll get to this in a second, because I've heard this before. We'll get to
go
this.
ahead.
I'm not saying Doug is intentionally throwing someone under the bus, but there's only three reasons why this could be happening. It's either BTJ starting slow, McCorkle not finding him, or the coaches not drawing him up, not scheming him in.
Yeah.
And Doug has an opinion.
His direction because we did. The ball just happened to go a different place or...
While being thrown to him or thrown away from him?
Quarterback had to move. He scrambled early a couple of times. Mac did.
That's an excuse for not throwing to BTJ? Because he had to run? I would think BTJ would be one of those guys getting open if McCorkle's got to move.
Did. But it was good to see. It was good to get, obviously get BT going. And that was the kind of the gist of the conversation was, we need to do that more in the beginning, right? Kind of maybe focus on that a little bit sooner than later. But again,
week 14 we're doing this? Week 14 they're like, oh, I got an idea. I've got an idea. Let's get BTJ the ball earlier.
Aaron, just be glad he took it under consideration.
To get BTJ the ball?
Earlier.
Doug, maybe, just possibly, think about it. Maybe you put the ball in the best offensive player's hands from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll take it into consideration.
Okay. Doug, how come you don't throw to BTJ in the beginning of the game? He's too busy doing breathing exercises.
Oh, boy.
Let's hit the break.
Okay, let's do that.
904-362-9901. Quite frankly, not sure if we're coming back before the Sports Center.
Yeah, we will.
Hope that doesn't make you mad, Glenn.
You're going to have to see Glenn. You better hope Nia's out by the time
Glenn's
you got to see Glenn.
Glenn's going to have to see me. I'm going to hang a picture of fake Glenn in my office, look at him every day and be like, this is what I'm doing.
Is this picture up? Can you see him on his comment?
Oh, that's a good idea. It is Facebook, right? I'm going to go surf that
No
profile.
way.
I'm going to go learn about Glenn in the break.
With Glenn. He a listener, man.
Yeah, he's probably a good guy. All right, when we come back, more about Glenn. 904-362-9901. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. Today, who knows what it'll be tomorrow?
The Jimmy V Classic is on ESPN 690.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
It's a college basketball doubleheader taking center stage in Madison Square Garden Tuesday. The first game has the Miami Hurricanes taking on #1 Tennessee. Tip-off is at 6:30. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. And then Game 2 sees Michigan and Arkansas go at it in a primetime showdown. Tip-off is at 9 p.m. It's a college basketball Tuesday.
He'll try a three. It's good. And a foul.
Miami, Tennessee. Michigan, Arkansas. The Jimmy V Classic is on ESPN 690.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Jacksonville. Elevate your live music experience with Daly's Place Blue. Live like a VIP with the best seats in the house. Premium parking, your own private entrance, VIP lounge access, guaranteed tickets to sold-out shows, and much more. Coming to Daly's Place in 2025, the legendary Rod Stewart February 25th, and Teddy Swims performing with Freak Freely May 10th. You'll never want to see a show any other way once you go blue. Learn more at dailysplace.com or call 904-633-2000. That's 904-633-2000.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Snyderman, could you shoot lasers out of your hands?
Huh? Nope.
Can you talk to fish?
I can't get him to listen.
Can you run super fast?
Bum knee.
Then what makes you a superhero? Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
Right now, Snyderman is running a special on duct cleaning to make sure the air flowing through your house is fresh and clean. Schedule your duct cleaning today at SnyderAC.com.
Breathe easy, Jacksonville, with Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
I'm Josh Scobie, proud supporter of Guardian Catholic School. Did you know that literacy is the most important predictor of lifelong success? Our teachers and parents can't do it alone, so we're inviting you to help kids get a kick out of reading. Please give today. Visit GuardianCatholic.com and click on Get a Kick Out of Reading.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
ESPN.com is your home for all things ESPN 690. Find shows, podcasts, Florida State Seminoles football, contests, and more at ESPN690.com. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. A couple of minutes before we hit the Sports Center. I was thinking a little bit more on Bill Belichick, and then I saw Tom Brady and his bros talking about Belichick to UNC and whether it would be a good move or not. Listen to Brady, and Edelman was with him, and a tiny bit of Gronk here at the end. Just 12 seconds on why they don't think it's a good fit.
No.
Absolutely not.
Recruiting an 18-year-old?
If you really want to come here, I mean, we don't really want you anyway, but I mean, I guess you could come. We'll figure out if you play.
If you bring your parents and use us as a third party, you're gone. You're off the team.
So clearly his three favorite pupils are like, this is an awful, awful pairing. And Belichick knows more about football than anyone in history, but recruitment will be a problem. I'm sitting here going, for literally anybody out there thinking recruitment's going to be an issue for Bill Belichick, he recruited an 18-year-old girlfriend. Why not an 18-year-old football player?
Cut that, post that, please. Okay, that's going to get you some views. I'm just letting you know. That was a good line. I don't know if that was off the top of the dome or you've been sitting on that one, but that was good. That
I'm
was
just
good,
saying,
Aaron.
clearly he's okay at recruiting young people. They're picking up what he's putting down. Unfortunately for him, it's the Metamucil pills he dropped by accident, but he can't bend over and pick up because, bad back. He's 70-something years old.
Have the same energy when William Belichick is in the building.
Yeah, if he gets hired here, oof, we got to scrub all that, don't we?
Not at all.
We got to scrub all that.
Pin it to the top.
If he gets hired here, I will be the first one to send his girlfriend an I'm sorry phone book for her to sit on in the car so she could drive to work.
See over the wheel.
Yeah.
She's taller than him, it looks like.
Is she taller than him?
Maybe she was in heels. I don't know.
You know what?
No, you got it. Go ahead, man.
I don't know.
Got it. We got the ability to take this off the, well, not off the
Yeah.
logger.
I talk a lot, but I do enjoy working here.
It's good. It's good.
I do enjoy working here.
This dude, Schachter in his bag right now.
Yeah, I think Belichick goes to UNC. I don't think there are NFL teams who are interested.
I would think that it's not going to be as bad of a fit, one, because the way that NIL has changed this into semi-professional, lower-level professional football. This isn't just, hey, we have student athletes, they get scholarships, and if you're good enough, you can do stuff under the table with your boosters. This is all out in the open.
All right, but
you got free agents.
As of now, though, you get guys who stay with teams for 1 year unless they have a good year.
And Bill's like, that's what I
don't think he's into. I think you can't build consistency off of that.
And listen, who else would be able to get your guy, your kid, the players ready for the NFL better than Bill Belichick?
Ain't a person alive.
I just think that it'll be a better fit than even what these guys are letting on. But they have way more knowledge than I ever will. So, if they're just like, nah, no way.
Like, I buy that.
Way.
As a parent, I'm like, well, this guy will get my kid ready for the NFL. But you also have to consider what an awful experience for the kid it will be over the next few years. There are other ways to get to the NFL.
There are other ways to get to
Don't go through going through Grandpa Belichick's program at UNC.
Kid said, nah, I'm going to make this million somewhere else. I come to FSU. They don't do nothing down there.
Belichick sitting up front of the class talking about snap face. You're like, really, Grandpa? I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Some of the athletes trying to holler at his girlfriend.
You got Coach Beamer down the road going, what is this nonsense? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, boy, we be cooking them. I couldn't wait. I'd go to that game.
Beamer seems a little agitated these days.
Really?
Yeah. The more I'm watching, the more I'm like, I kind of feel like a kindred spirit to this guy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
904-362-9901 is the phone number. Back on the Aaron Schachter Show after the break. Talk a little more Jaguars and some other topics. We got the latest mock draft. I've got a story about car-sized drones being spotted in New Jersey, and nobody knows
like
what they are. Yes.
Oh.
Nobody knows what they are or who they belong to. It is a weird, wild story. If we have time, we'll get to it. Hawk Tour Girl launched a meme coin and then ripped everyone off for millions. If we have time, we'll get to it. I've got the list of the most hated NFL players by tweet. If we have time, we'll get to it.
Okay.
Lots more coming up on the Aaron Schachter Show. Stick around.
If we have time.
If we have time.
Are you a real estate investor or have considered investing and want to know where you can put your money that offers solid returns and protects against market volatility? It's Rich Jones. I want to introduce you to DLP Capital, CEO and founder Don Wenner.
For more than a decade, DLP Capital has delighted our investors with consistent double-digit returns. Through the smart, conservative real estate investment strategy our company is built on, we have been able to achieve this with monthly distributions and tax shelters so our investors can keep more of their returns.
Dial *invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
I decided to do my Prize Picks lineup a little bit differently this past weekend and, a little bit of mixed results for your buddy. Hey, it's Aaron from the Aaron Schachter Show, and here's what I ended up doing. Instead of going game by game, I did position by position. So I did a all quarterbacks lineup, then I did an all running backs lineup, then I did an all touchdown scorers lineup. And here's what I found. Some of those lineups a little bit harder to hit, but the payouts were much bigger. And that really is the hook right now with Picksmas over at Prize Picks. You can make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks. It's the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. And right now you could win up to 200x your money. They're giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. By the way, Prize Picks now offering MasterCard for quick and easy deposits right into the account this sports season. So here's the play. Download the app. Use the code WOKVA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WOKVA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners. So you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
ESPN 690 is your home for Florida State Seminoles football. Get all the action from the Garnet and Gold on the gridiron on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Sources tell ESPN's Todd Archer, Cowboys linebacker DeMarvion Overshone tore the ACL, MCL, and PCL in his right knee last night. He is scheduled for surgery this week. He will need significant recovery time after the procedure. Eagles defensive end Brandon Graham today apologized and walked back last night's comments regarding that the relationship between quarterback Jalen Hurts and receiver A.J. Brown isn't as good as it once was. Graham was responding to Brown's passing game criticism post-game Sunday. Do not expect any of this to go away quickly for Philadelphia, notes ESPN's Dan Graziano.
They play for a team that this time last year was completely collapsing internally after a 10-1 start, and all year there have been questions about could that happen again. It looked like they were answering those questions in a good way. They can do it. Like, they're good players, they're good coaches, like they can manage this. But I think the story of their season now becomes, how do you recover from this? How do you manage this?
Tiger Woods returning to this month's PNC Championship with his son Charlie, his first competition since the British Open and a 6 back surgery 3 months ago.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, the great Mel Kiper Jr. joins us at 8:30 a.m. Eastern to look ahead to Week 15 in the NFL, as well as the college football playoffs. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
The Inflation Fighter is back and saving you thousands at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Right now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, just $500 down and $288 a month gets you a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma, just $500 down and $388 a month. You also get no payments till January 2025. It's all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/save for details.
Know someone who struggles with swallowing or discomfort during meals? Esophageal conditions like eosinophilic esophagitis can turn enjoyable moments into challenging ones. Join Borland Grover gastroenterologist Dr. Ali Lankanrani and executive editor of MedEvidence Dr. Michael Koren for a free luncheon at our studios on January 24th and take a deep dive into the latest research and treatments in digestive health. Empower yourself with knowledge that could improve your quality of life or that of a loved one. To reserve your seat, email medevent@cmg.com. That's medevent@cmg.com.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's. That means it's time to save big on your next job. Right now, get your choice of 5-gallon pails of Valspar Signature Ceiling Paint or HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Flat Ceiling Paint for just $148. Plus, get it delivered to your job site with free same-day delivery when you order by 2 p.m. Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 12/20. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back. Woo! It's the Aaron Schachter Show. ESPN 690, hanging out with you guys up until 5 p.m. My name is Aaron Schachter. With me is Brian Middleton. Brian, we haven't played one of your games in a very long time. Can we do that this week?
It feels like a dead or alive kind of week, to be honest with you.
Okay. Whatever you want to play. Dealer's choice.
Okay.
Just not survey says.
Oh. That would be, I would argue that'd be the best option right now.
That's my only limitation.
I'd argue that'd be the best option.
But we used to play a game like multiple times a week. I feel like we should get back to that. It'll be fun. Yeah, sometimes these companies play games a little bit. I know it's a weird segue. Feel me out on this. Hear me out. There's a betting company out there. I'm going to go ahead and use their content, but I'm not going to say their name. Because they're not the one I work with. Shout out to Prize Picks, by the way. The only place to get real money action on all your favorite sports. Prize Picks been really good to me. I'm talking in my lineups on the weekend. Nice little side gig I got going there. I don't know if you listen when I do those commercials, but I started talking about a new way that I'm doing Prize Picks, where I used to go game by game. And within a certain game, I'd go, this quarterback's going to do more or less than this projection. This running back is going to do more or less than this projection. And then I would clump it up by games. So if I'd see a score of a game while I'm watching during Sundays, I'd be like, oh, let me check on that lineup. Let's see how it's doing. I've decided to do it a little bit differently now. Now I'm grouping them by position and by stat, right? So instead of one lineup with all my Detroit projections or all my Cardinals projections, I'll do a lineup with running backs only, rushing yards. I'll do a lineup with wide receiver yardage projections or receptions projections only. I'll do one with quarterback touchdown pass projections only. And these are a little bit harder to hit. I grow them a little bit bigger. But, instead of 4X or 5X my money, we're talking 10, 20X. And so you hit one of those, it makes the whole weekend. It's a lot of fun, too.
Nice.
So I've enjoyed it. I suggest you do the same. Just remember, if you sign up, use my code word. WOKVA. For AM.
Yeah.
Aaron's Masterful.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it stands for. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
Now you know. But some of these companies, to get their name in the media, will do a case study or what they call a white paper, a research paper. And they'll let you know their methodology and their findings. And there is a company out there who did just that. They wanted to find out who the most hated NFL players are. But I thought their methodology was interesting when I dove into the details. Basically, they looked it up by how many hateful tweets and negative tweets were written about them. Time out. I got a little breaking news here. Sorry, I don't mean to distract us from the thing I've been trying to do for over a week now, by the way.
I was about to cheer you on. I was like, yo, we're finally getting to this story.
This
but
thing's
okay.
been in my pocket for a while.
Let's go. What you got?
Glenn has sounded off on the chat again today.
Yeah, boy. Okay, now we talking. What's going on? You got so much to say?
Glenn is back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Glenn says, by the way, I listen every day on iHeart when the show is on.
Did he hit you with a 3 dot? Did he pause it for a second?
He should have. I added it for him.
Yeah, that's great.
We're going to collaborate a little bit on this SmackDown because everybody
good.
knows the one who's best at smacking me down is me. But
that's true.
I appreciate you, Glenn. Thank you so much for being around.
Yo, well, when it's on, though.
When it's on, I don't play it. Look, I think I said this to you. If I was a listener, I would be so annoyed at the inconsistency of this broadcast right here. But I think that's also part of the charm. We leave you wanting more. We leave you jonesing, Brian.
Well, blame leadership. I can give you their direct line and direct email if you really want to have us on every day.
Probably not a great idea.
No, but I'm just saying, the people want us. You should let the people in charge, know that.
I don't think anyone's really asked for that. Now, you could think the people want it that way. No one's really asked for it.
I'm just looking for a reason to give out the
some people's phone numbers.
You know what I mean? Any way I could get
personal phone numbers of the bosses? Sure, that sounds like a good plan.
Oh, man.
I like it.
And you tell them Aaron Schachter sent you.
So they did this research by looking up hateful tweets. But this is interesting to me because clearly nobody has thousands of people on staff to read through every hateful tweet because there are a lot of them. So what they did was they searched the tweets about NFL players for certain keywords. The majority of those keywords I cannot say on the radio. But to give you an idea, if I could, an example of one of these keywords describes a part of the body.
Like torso area?
It would be in between the
Lower
top
leg?
of your belly and the top of your knees.
Abdomen. Hip flexor.
But maybe you ask the person
sternum
to turn opposite from you to see the part we're talking about. Or maybe the tweet was a curse word. I could think of 2 off the top of my head in the 7 ones you're not supposed to say that are on this list. 3 of them, actually. One of them implies you enjoy romance with people's moms.
Is that? Oh, okay.
No, nobody got called Zach Wilson. No, that's not what that was.
I'm following you now. Okay.
2 of these words imply maybe you don't have the testicular fortitude required to be a macho person.
Oh, what's it rhyme with?
I'm not going to do that because even though you think that's legal and won't get us in trouble, you are wrong. That is not allowed.
Not saying the word would get you in trouble.
Even rhyming the word would get you in trouble.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah, we got a bunch of prudes out here then.
Let's call the FCC and find out.
Let's call them. What's the number? I'll call them right now. Let's get them online.
1-800-FCCCCCCC.
You're fine.
One of them could mean a structure that blocks water from spilling over a waterfall. You could say that word.
Oh. Hold on.
Damn. There it goes.
Hey.
You can say that word. One of them requires, I think, cleaning solution, specifically engineered for the ladies. Damn. No.
Okay.
Same letter, though.
Ooh.
You get the idea.
Okay.
You get the idea.
Yeah, I got you. You
And
can't,
so-
you can't say that.
You could.
That's incredible.
I just choose not to. You could.
Safe side.
If Tank were here, he would tell us we could say it.
And then say it.
He used to be my FCC expert.
Really?
Yeah, because he used to have to produce. You guys remember Bubba the Love Sponge?
Yeah, you told me about that. Yo.
He was one of the most controversial radio figures in our city's history. And Tank used to produce that show. Got into a big on-air fight with him because of all the words he was dumping out of. Dude's my hero. Not Bubba. Tank. In any case, we're away from the story again. Listen, they took all the hateful tweets. They said which one of them have these curses. They put it in an Excel sheet for me to look at, and I was real excited about it. But some of this data is a little bit weird looking, a little bit off. Now, granted, this isn't like the Library of Congress doing this research study, but I do think it's got some interesting things in it. For instance, Brian, Jacksonville Jaguars are a big deal around here. You would think with a season as disappointing as this, there would be some players on there getting a lot of hatred from people on Twitter. If you had to guess who was the most hated Jacksonville Jaguar, who would you guess? Who do you even have to choose from?
In the organization or just, these are just players, right?
Just players. Okay. Player data. Most hated NFL players data.
So it wouldn't make sense if I had to give you an explanation, but I would say Trevor because he's the most notable. He's the QB, most praised, most hate.
Not only did you say it, but you gave the explanation. And it made sense.
Okay.
I'm with you. I mean, I've seen the data, so I know the answer. But before I looked at it, I guessed. And I was like, I would guess Trevor just because you're the quarterback. You're catching the brunt of the heat. Like ETN fumbles on the goal line, he's going to catch heat. But if ETN has a day where he rushes 10 times for 30 yards and Trevor only throws for $175 with a tutty and an interception, Trevor's getting the heat, not ETN. And we were right, by the way. Trevor does clock in as the most hated Jacksonville Jaguar.
Good for him.
Do you know what place, though? Can you guess? I'll give you a ±5 on it.
I don't understand. What do you mean, what place?
What rank out of all the NFL players?
Oh, okay.
In this list, here's a hint. I'm looking at the top 100.
Thanks, man. You know what? Oh, man. Give me a hint on the lottery numbers,
±5.
Quick pick.
You get a window. You get a 10-pick window here.
I understand. Most hated, he's not that.
Doesn't feel like
50.
it, right?
I'd say 50.
50 is a decent guess.
Yeah.
He clocks in at 37.
Oh, okay.
37.
Okay.
And the only thing I was thinking about when I saw that, I was like, this man doesn't do enough to be hated like that. Then I started thinking, you know what? More likely than it is Jags fans crapping on Trevor that makes this survey, I think it's people who draft him in fantasy football.
I didn't even think about that element.
And then they're going to Twitter going, this dude screwed my season, bleepity bleep, bleep, bleep. I'm like, all right, I can feel it now.
Yeah. You sure Travis Etienne ain't higher?
Travis Etienne is on the list.
From me alone, he should be top 10.
Which words might you have used?
Fantasy football wise. Well, I still don't know exactly what the...
Travis Etienne right now ranked 55th most hated football player in the league.
This is an incredible list, by the way.
Based on negative tweets. Now, out of all of his hateful tweets, Almost a third of them included a word that describes fecal matter. A bad word.
Boo-boo.
Yeah. I don't know if they're talking about his play.
Nanny.
I don't know if they're talking about his attempts per carry.
Excrement.
Or his yards per carry. I don't know if they're talking about his lack of ability to be involved in the game plan this year. Maybe they're talking about his offensive line.
Talking about all that.
But they're using that word. Second word used most to describe Travis Etienne in this survey is a word that might be describing intimate relations. A one-syllable word no one is allowed to say except for people on HBO. So those two words right there. Who do you think is the most hated player in the NFL?
Patrick Mahomes. Not even close.
Pat Mahomes is up in the top 10 on this list. But I think Jackson and Brittany Mahomes kind of siphon off a little bit of that hate from Pat.
Ooh, Travis Kelce?
I actually think if Patrick Mahomes was having a better year, a more Mahomes-like year, he'd be higher up on this list.
Where is he at? You don't mind me asking?
He did make the top 10. He's number 6.
Gotcha. Wow, not even top 5, huh? Wow.
Travis Kelce's number 3.
I could see that. That's the Taylor bump.
Between Taylor
That's the Taylor bump.
and the fact that this dude is underperforming this year, so people might have drafted him high on fantasy football, and they screwed themselves at the position. He's also kind of a hateable character. He's kind of a beefhead, a meathead.
That's winning at everything in life.
Everything he gets to win at.
He's better than you. I hate him. It's jealousy.
Number 1 most used word, negative word.
This is so great.
When talking about Travis Kelce is a word that starts with the letter D. It's a cleaning solution for ladies.
Oh, you're back there again.
You go ahead and Google that on your work computer.
Would it be?
Let's just say there might be a time of season where this word matters more, right? Maybe it's not winter or fall or spring. Maybe it's on summer's eve that this word matters more.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, do you remember the summer's
Number 1 most hated football player in the NFL. You got number 3, you got number 6, you got number 36, and you got number 55.
Yeah.
I'll even give you some names to throw in the mix here.
Like a multiple choice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You tell me who is most hated on this list based on this methodology. Tyreek Hill, Lamar Jackson, or Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I forgot about Aaron Rodgers because they're losing.
So did everybody else.
Because he's losing. So people are just like, good.
By the way, second most followers on X on this list. Second only, I'm not sure if you'd believe the answer to this,
Bryce Young.
Russell Wilson.
I see that. Russell's a good guy.
Russell, 5.4 million followers on X. Aaron Rodgers, 4.5 million followers.
And Sierra has a lot of followers. I'm surprised Travis Kelce hasn't bumped up like that.
Travis Kelce at 1.4. I'm sure his Instagram is much bigger.
Aaron, I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers, even though I think that the struggles of Aaron Rodgers the past 2 seasons, he shouldn't be number 1. He shouldn't be number 1, but I feel like he's still number 1. He's not? Okay,
not only is he not number 1, he's 3 out of 3 on that list.
Wow. Then who's number 1?
Number 1 in your hearts, also in the paternity ward.
Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tyreek Hill.
Sophie Hall effect, baby.
Number 1 most hated NFL player based on negative tweets, based on hateful tweets. Just to give you an idea, the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 on this list is Lamar Jackson. I really don't understand that one.
Me neither.
Lamar Jackson, in this study, they tallied him at 1,893 hateful tweets. That's good for second. Third place, hear me out.
Jeez.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Second place was almost 1,900 negative hateful tweets. Third place was almost 1,800 hateful tweets. First place was 4,975. He tripled up on him. Almost. Tyreek Hill, hands down, a very hated individual.
Yep.
I feel like the interaction with the cop kind of put him over the top on this one. Don't you think?
Yep.
I don't think it's having all the babies. I don't think it's getting your fiance pregnant at the same year that you had 2 babies with 2 other people.
Breaking Sophie Hall's leg.
I don't think it's breaking the OnlyFans model's leg. Shout out Free month for her this month.
Wow.
Just saying, I heard a little
First
birdie
prize
told
picks
me.
and now, okay, there we go.
Little birdie told me. I don't think it's any of that. I think it's Tyreek Hill mouthing off to the cops, whether he was right or wrong. Not saying he was or wasn't. Just saying factually, he spoke to the police in a way that had them react very negatively and break some of their rules and protocols.
Yeah, man.
They got in trouble for that. I think a dude got fired. Maybe.
Really?
Either fired or suspended or something.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
But Tyreek Hill, 4,975 negative tweets in this window, calling him every name in the book.
Including Summer's Eve.
I'll tell you, the only thing he didn't get called, zero, was the name sometimes people use to anatomically describe a female's body part. A biological female's body part.
Pico's answering in the chat. Let me see if I can get some of these answers.
Oh, do we got answers in the chat?
Pico and Kilkenny are in this chat right now. Now do a top 100 most hated Jets draft bust.
Pico, I'm not sure that Cromartie does have more kids. I think we just did this recently, didn't
Cromartie
we?
had 6, right? I think we looked up. Cromartie had 6.
On Hard Knocks, when he forgot their names, I think he was up to 7. But I think he's up to double digits now. Pico, you're close on that last guess, but it's not the V word. It starts with a different letter. There's more
14
punctuation. Did I call that? Did I say 14 or 12?
I don't know, but he reportedly pays, hear this out, $336,000 per year in child support for 8 children with 7 women. I don't know why that moved down there. And I don't know what he's doing with the other ones. I guess the other ones live with him? I don't know. Holy smokes. $336,000. How much money did he make? He was good in the league. He made that kind of money.
Okay, but he played in like the early 2000s. He wasn't as a second corner on every team he was on. He's not getting paid that.
Hey, man, you might got to hit the block, man. I don't know about this one. This is crazy. $336?
I mean, you do have 14 kids. How do we break that down? Hold on. Let me pull up the calculator. Let me do a little divorce math here, if you don't mind.
No, you're good.
How much does he pay in a month?
a year.
A year?
Yeah.
How much?
$336,000.
$336,000. That doesn't seem like a lot at all.
Well, hey, laptop class. That's
listen,
different.
hold on, no. $336,000 divided by 12 months a year.
Yeah.
All right, you're talking about $28,000 a month.
Yeah.
For 14 kids?
No. That's between 7 kids. That's why I was like, I don't know what he does. Do the other kids live with him?
No, they're probably older than child support age.
Okay.
They're probably older, over 18. How many kids is he paying on right now? 7?
8. Sorry. 8 children.
We lose track. He loses track. All right. You're talking about $3,500 a kid.
A month.
I understand how it works.
Oh, okay. Well, the way that you better explain it to me.
I understand how it works.
That's
firsthand.
crazy. That's crazy, Aaron. Don't do this.
I'm not saying $3,500 is a small amount of money, but for a professional athlete who played for longer than 10 years, that actually seems fairly reasonable. He must have no money left.
Oh, okay. We're coming to the same conclusion once again, even though I guess I disagree with you somehow.
Here's how they figure it out. They basically go, all right, how much does it cost to raise this kid in this moment? Yeah. Clothing and supplies and food and medical, all kinds of stuff. You throw it in. They have a whole worksheet for it. They go, how much does this cost annually? Okay, how much do mom and dad make total? And then what percentage are each responsible for? So hypothetically, Brian, if me and you are getting divorced, and it costs $1,000 a month for our kid, and I make $90,000 a year and you make $10,000 a year, we make $100,000. I make 90% of that. So I pay 90% of the cost of raising the kid. So if the cost every month is $1,000, I'm paying $900 a month in child support.
Man, I don't get. Okay. Hey, man, thank you for explaining that to me. It's probably, hopefully it won't be helpful in the future, but maybe it will be. I'll tell you this much, though. $336,000, these kids need to come live with me. If I can pay that,
sure about that?
Nah, just come live with me, man, because there ain't no way, dog. Ain't no $3,500 per kid per month. What they doing? They better always be in those books. They better always be studying from that private school.
You can't afford the books at that cost, Brian. You're going to have to read online or something.
Holy smokes.
Don't get divorced. Let that be a lesson to you, my young friend.
That's wild.
Still looking for love in all the wrong places.
Oh, check out what Sophie has to offer.
904-362-9901 or just get in the chat. Chat's popping off today. We're having fun out there. Pico maybe a little more than other people. 904-362-9901. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. Back in a couple of minutes.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A warm day today under partly cloudy skies with afternoon highs near 80 degrees. Becoming cloudy tonight with a scattered shower late as we only drop into the mid-60s. We'll have some rain for your Wednesday. Have an umbrella handy. Those showers will diminish west to east by later in the day as temperatures fall into the 50s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Now through Christmas Eve, save up to 44% off store-wide at Beard's Diamonds.
Elevate your live music experience with Daly's Place Blue. Live like a VIP with the best seats in the house. Premium parking, your own private entrance, VIP lounge access, guaranteed tickets to sold-out shows, and much more. Coming to Daly's Place in 2025, the legendary Rod Stewart February 25th, and Teddy Swims performing with Freak Freely May 10th. You'll never want to see a show any other way once you go blue. Learn more at dailysplace.com or call 904-633-2000. That's 904-633-2000.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This weekend only, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait, this is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
The 12 Days of Christmas is back and better than ever at Best Bet Jacksonville. From December 12th to the 23rd, we're lighting up the tables with our much-anticipated High Hands promotion, giving away over $330,000 in cash and prizes. The excitement continues to grow each day, starting at $1,200 and climbing up to $2,300, and the chance to set sail on a card player poker cruise. Explore all the excitement at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey folks, Dave Benyon with Zero Res. I asked my wife what she wants for Christmas, and she said the same thing she does every year. She wants a clean home full of family and friends. That means the carpets, the tile and grout, the large oriental rug in our family room, and the huge sectional sofa that everyone loves to hang out on all need a good Zero Res cleaning. Give Zero Res a call and get your carpets cleaned for only $49 a room, and get your tile and grout cleaned for 25% off. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Snyderman, can you move things in your mind?
Nope.
Did you read our minds?
I got nothing. Were you thinking of nothing?
No. So, what makes you a superhero?
I can tell if you should repair or replace your air conditioning system.
If it's time to replace your air conditioning unit, Snyder can help. Get 0% interest if you pay in full within 60 months. Visit SnyderAC.com and get the details in a flash.
Flash? I think you mean Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves.
Curbside pickup and delivery available, and the lowest prices for over 30 years only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly. B21.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs.
Picking up! Oscar! Connect with us on Facebook.
What do you mean by that?
Search for @ESPN690Jax and check out the latest sports news, live stream, or show clip.
Now we talking.
ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. It's the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. We mentioned Juan Soto a little earlier. Did you hear that one of the reasons Soto didn't sign with the Yankees was because Steve Cohen, the owner for the Mets, gave him a suite, an owner's suite? Apparently, he asked for the Yankees to do the same, but the Yankees refused. They have a policy where they make people pay for the suite. So literally, you've got Aaron Judge paying for a suite.
Oh, yeah.
Derek Jeter pays for a suite.
Yeah.
And they were like, we can't just give it to you, Juan. We'll give you a discount. Then comes the story that earlier this past season, Yanks security didn't recognize Soto's mother in the suite, kicked her out. That's embarrassing. Then comes the story a little later in the year, same guy, same security guard, kicks out Soto's chef and driver because he didn't recognize them.
Breaking news, security guy is a Mets fan. When he removed the uniform.
Well, look, on the one hand, you're like, that's what security's supposed to do. They don't recognize you, they kick you.
Did they have ID?
I don't know. I'm assuming if they did, he wouldn't have done it. But I've also been in these situations where security guy can't win in the equation. Because even if they didn't have ID, the owner still has to look at Soto and go, oh, we'll take care of this right away. Maybe they look at the security guy and they go, hide in the basement for a couple of months so he thinks you're gone. But either way, security guy doesn't get off scot-free. So apparently, according to John Heyman, the reporter, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Once Cohen was able to give up the suite, which reportedly was like an afterthought, he was like, yeah, sure, he needs a suite. We'll give him 3 of them. Not like the Mets are giving them to anybody. Once the suite was in, the money didn't even matter anymore. It was about respect for Soto. Oh, you don't like that?
It's about respect.
They kicked his moms out.
What's the number one more time? What's the number?
765 over 15.
If you don't get the bleep out of here. Hey, but you know what? Again, when you can execute the way that he can execute, you can try to leverage that the way you see fit.
Yeah.
What you deem respect, you're guiding that, so go ahead.
Good
for you, Mr. Soto.
That's right. Good for you.
Mama Soto.
Good for the Metropolitans.
Chef Soto.
Go ahead and waste this man's prime for the next couple of years.
You're not winning a chip, but that's all good.
904-362-9901 is the number on the Aaron Schachter Show. Let's hit the phones from the chat to the telephone. Mr. Kilkenny, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not too much. I happen to notice that we've seen a lot more Jerry and Jones and Buster Brown in the game, and the secondary did a lot better.
Oh, look at that.
It's crazy that, less Darby and less big plays. I guess someone finally figured this out.
Where are you at on Cisco's benching? You got feelings on that?
I don't know why or what led up to it. So, I mean, from what I've seen, as a just avid viewer, it did look like he was, not being as intense as what he used to be, and he obviously has been making quite a few mistakes this year, but I don't know why, so I can't really say anything.
I do think it's interesting timing. You're coming into an offseason where Cisco's becoming a free agent if you don't quickly take care of him, unless they have something already in place that they haven't told anybody about that we'll hear about after the season. That being said, Cisco is one of these guys, as far as I'm concerned, like Christian Kirk, that I go, I think I'm sentimentally attached to him as a Jaguars player. I am curious if you can upgrade there.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I've actually, thought about is, like, first off, Savage we're stuck with for at least 2, if not 3 more years because of contract. And it's done in a way to where they're really not going to be able to get out of it. Even if they cut him, they would have to pay him his full salary for the next 2 or 3 years. So we're stuck with Savage. And so then you get to looking, and you have a decent enough rest of the field if you get rid of Cisco and draft one. So I don't.
You don't think Cisco's got the ability to be a star player here?
No, I do. I think he does. But at the same time, the whole contract, and we just signed a bunch of big contracts. Now we're in the middle of, in the middle of the league as far as cap space goes, and we have the money. And so if they were to sign him, I'd be perfectly fine with that. It's just that, you asked if we could upgrade, and I do think we could upgrade, but we also thought we were doing that with Savage, and look what that's cost us.
Yeah.
Who else out there in the league would even be available to come in who, one, would be at his age? Because the only safeties that I've seen and heard of that are really going to be available in free agency are much older. And so do we really want to get into that? And we kept talking about wanting to draft and develop because that's what the best teams do. We say that, but then we look at the New England and we see all the rings that they have. And that was one of the things that they were most famous for was cutting people. You had your few people, your Gronks and different people that they drafted and kept. But beyond that, it was a rotation except for on the offensive line. They were constantly getting in new people and getting rid of people.
All right. Well, as far as free agents go, I do think there are some names out there this offseason, specifically a guy like Quandre Diggs, or Julian Blackmon, where you have significant talent out there. But I do agree with you that I don't think the Jags are going out there and paying a big-time safety to come here and play. If anything, either you run with what you got, you re-sign who you're about to let become a free agent, or you draft a new one. But I do think the snap counts are somewhat telling, even though Cisco had a little smoke before the game. You had Savage leading all safeties, free and strong, 58 snaps. Cisco put in 40 snaps, and then Johnson, who I think started on behalf of Cisco, had 38 snaps. So really it was a 50-50 split there. I think Dewey got in on special teams. Same with Daniel Thomas, 2 snaps. But so, even though the statement was made and Cisco has been having a subpar year relative to what his standard has become, I don't know if it's over for him. I do think it might be a shot across the bow in terms of, hey, look, man, you're probably not getting a big, huge contract from the Jaguars if you're re-signing here. If I'm Cisco, I'm loading up for another one.
Oh, absolutely. Because he hasn't done himself any favors, and so he's not really going to be a highly sought-after guy to begin with, except for unless you're looking at possible ceiling and age, then that could be attractive to a team. But he's not going to get a huge contract, so you may as well stay with where you know.
Jordan Fuller over in the Carolina Panthers, he's a good safety. He's only 26 and a half. He's going to turn 27 next year. There are a few guys on that side, but you're right. For the most part, Dan, it's 29, 30, 31-year-olds. Quandre Diggs almost 32. So you may have to go a little bit older if you're looking at free agency, and you kind of just did that when you brought in the 2 guys in the secondary you brought in this offseason.
And one of the big things I look at with him, too, is or with people in his situation, is he's at least average. He would be, up there, and he's not hurting you. And so we have different areas that are being hurt. And so instead of creating a hole where there isn't one, or at least, not a flooding hole, it's just, got a little trickle there, then we need to really focus on where the problems really are and then go from there.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they do that going into this offseason. Clearly, you got the mandate from Shad that he wants to stop living off of free agents, but you also have a situation where you're not sure who the GM or head coach are going to be until you hear some kind of clarity from the team. And I'm kind of curious in what form that'll come in, especially if one or either of those guys aren't shown the door. It feels weird to have a press conference where you go, "Hey guys, I just want to let you all know nobody's getting fired today." I don't think that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, and the crazy thing with Bulky is, everybody, you go back and forth and everything. His free agent class from this year was horrible, unfortunately. But, except for Morris. But then again, the last 2 games, Morris has been the lowest rated lineman. And so that's not a good trend. But when you go back and they did this on whatever the show is with Baselli and Prisco, they actually went back and listed everybody from the 2020 draft all the way until current. And he's actually really, the guys that are playing for us are the ones that he drafted. Now we still have some people on the team that aren't doing so great.
Yeah.
And we're from the last Caldwell draft, not the Bulky draft. And so you start looking at different things like that, and you actually, don't just try to look at the, from a 1,000-foot view like, a lot of people do, and actually delve in and start looking at all the little nuance things. And it's like, well, I don't know, because it's like with getting rid of Doug. When you go to a practice or a preseason, or not a preseason, but a training camp or whatever, the head coach is not the one who is sitting down with every single player and going over every single play and teaching them every single move and every single cadence. That's the position coach. The head coach is going around and, hitting them all. And so a lot of the, we were talking about before, a lot of the plays have been there, but either they whiffed on something. Somebody made a mistake. And so when you start breaking it down like that, that's not, I understand that a lot of times, we don't know actually how much input Doug has had on his staff. We know that he brought some of them, but we also have heard some of the moves that have possibly been done by Bulky, or the team.
This is why I think it's funny when people, I appreciate the call, Dan. Thank you so much. This is why I think it's funny when people start talking about, oh, Doug's got to go, oh, Trent's got to go. And it's like, you don't really know who's responsible for what. They're so shrouded in mystery on this team. Like, Doug refused to let you know who was calling the plays for a half season. Who knows who's responsible in full for the coaching staff or the free agents or the players? You hear Doug and Trent disagree on guys. You don't know what the truth is. You hear that Doug is backing his guy Press, but we're not in on that conversation.
That's not our problem. Our problem then is whether or not we're involved in the conversation and we know who exactly is responsible. That's not our problem. Our problem is, though, that we cheer for the Jags, and the Jags, they're not good, regardless if the players are good. If you think the players are good, that we have the players to win, to get into the playoffs and make Super Bowl runs, then it's the coaching's fault. If you think that the coaching is fine and we don't have the players that we need here on the team, then that's a front office GM thing. One of them need to go. And since they're secret buddies and they don't want to put blame on anybody, that's fine. I get it. I respect that. I'd probably be the same way in some capacity. We're a team here. That's fine. You all find new jobs together. All of you find new jobs together. We've given you enough time. That's fine.
Is this a new kind of resume, like a tag team resume?
You tell me. They're shrouded in secrecy. I don't know.
Between the three of them, they put together a pretty mediocre team. Balky and Press Taylor and Doug Peterson.
I agree. Listen, I agree with you on the Peterson take, honestly. You know what? I don't want to rehash it. I'm just saying, with the scenario that you just put out
Have I sold you on keeping Doug Peterson?
Well, it wasn't necessarily selling me. It depended on the moves that happened post the trade deadline and also how the team looked on the softer part of their schedule. But my overall point is if Doug Peterson, he don't want to, say who was calling the plays, fine. Offense don't look good. You're supposed to be an offensive genius. We got the players, right? I know you didn't say it was the best team ever, but we got the players, right? Then that's a coaching deal, whether it's the offensive coordinator or the head coach, the offensive genius. If we have the players And you think the coaching is, I'm sorry, if we have the coaching, you think the coaching is fine, but the players aren't executing, then yes, some of the players need to get out of here, but it's also who gave the coach those players. Somebody needs to be gone.
And they will be.
No, they won't.
They will be.
I'm telling you right now, the closer we get to the end of this season, the more hope if they pull off more 10-6 victories out here, which is fine. Fight for every win. I'm with you.
You're
Fight for every
okay.
win.
You're okay with the 10-6 win?
I'm okay with them trying to win as many games as possible. I have moved from the camp of tanking to, hey, man, win as many games as possible, even though you're out of the playoffs.
Well, the only reason why, look, I'm with you, but I've always been there for the Jags only because tanking this year doesn't give you anything. Doesn't give you. There is no can't miss, no doubt about it prospect in the draft. I know you feel there is. I know. I hear everybody. I get it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It's a hard position. Both those positions, hard positions to play. I'd rather have Will Johnson at corner than Travis Hunter. I'd rather have T-Mac at wide receiver than Travis Hunter.
But crossing those over, Travis Hunter is better than both of them as a crossover. And
as a two-way player.
And the drop-off isn't substantial between those two guys. And the ceiling, do we think that Travis Hunter's ceiling matches both of those guys in those areas? Some of the questions you got to have.
I'm not convinced he's going to be a good NFL player. And maybe I regret that.
It's smart, though, right? It's smart, especially if it does work out that way, because you've been steadfast in this move. We try to show you stuff. We're like, hey, no, look at this play.
You think I've made an investment here. Okay.
No, I think you believe it.
Like an ideological investment. But I'm standing on it.
I've also watched you make arguments that are very eloquent. And actually very convincing, and you don't believe it. It's for the sake of argument. So I don't know where you really stand on Travis Hunter.
Fair enough. That's fine. We should probably just take this to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point. Where were we before Dan hopped on the phone? I was talking about Soto. Oh, but then Dan came. Okay. We can get back to Jaguars for the next couple of minutes.
Okay.
Oh. Instead of Jaguars. I didn't even mention this. The Jamie Foxx special, I think, is out.
Oh, I didn't know you had one.
Okay. Do you remember a few months ago, a story broke?
That Diddy almost killed him?
Yes, that Jamie Foxx was doing stand-up comedy, and in the comedy, he tells everyone what happened, what his medical scare was. He goes, I had a stroke. I was literally breaths away from dying.
Wow.
And he blamed it on Diddy, and then the audience laughed, and according to a witness, he looks at a guy in the front and he goes, this is not a joke. This man almost killed me, and I called the FBI on him.
Whoop. Whoop. Oh, boy.
So, according to witnesses, because Jamie Foxx, he did 3 tapings. A lot of times when comedians will tape a special, they'll tape the early show and the late show that night.
Okay.
Because they're wearing the same clothing, there's the same energy, and they can do edits. If the crowd messes up one of your punchlines, or you mess up, obviously you can then fix it with the second show.
That makes sense.
Cut in the crowd from the second, whatever you need to do, right? Little editing games. Jamie actually filmed either 3 or 5 shows. I want to say it's 3 because that makes more sense to me, but I thought I read 5 somewhere.
Okay.
In any case, I think it was 3. 2 out of 3 of those shows, there are witnesses who claim he tells the Diddy story. He goes, Diddy did this to me, and I called the FBI. The one show in the middle, people were like, he didn't say that. So then, internet sleuths start putting it together a little bit. Jamie Foxx disappears with a medical condition. He's in the hospital. You don't hear what it is. It's just a stroke. People have strokes, but they were very tight-lipped about it. Then he comes out of the hospital. You don't see him. He's hiding. And I'm like, well, if it was a stroke, maybe his face was a little droopy or something. It happens to people.
Yeah, trying to do something, yeah.
Maybe his speech wasn't right. So fine. So he's recovering. A year or 2 later, he's back out there. He's doing comedy. It wasn't until Diddy got arrested you start hearing this story. I think it is entirely possible.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx dropped dime on Diddy and sent him to prison. Now, what I'm hearing is that Netflix may have cut this part of the special out because they want to avoid further legal obligations. They want nothing to do with it. But here's what I'm saying. If Jamie Foxx is bold enough to put it in his special, he's going to talk about it again somewhere. But what a wild ride there.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find this. Let's see. The actor was in Georgia at the time, working on the upcoming Netflix movie Back in Action with Cameron Diaz, but he didn't collapse on set at the film. When he passed out, he thought it was just for a few moments. But then he basically passed out in an elevator, and he woke up what he thought was a couple of hours later. He actually didn't wake up until a couple of weeks later. He was in a coma. And the folks say while Jamie Foxx, a father to daughters Corinne and Annalise, was in a coma, one of the girls would go to the hospital, play guitar for her dad while he was in a coma. When he woke up, he said that was the only thing he could remember from his sleep was that song. So he absolutely heard the daughter playing guitar in the hospital room while he's basically in his coma. While taping the Netflix special in front of a live audience. It's titled, by the way, What Had Really Happened is the name of the special. It's a little more tip of the cap.
Wow.
To telling the truth there.
Okay.
Jamie explained what happened before, during, and after a stroke. Media Takeout confirmed. Jamie tells fans Diddy was responsible. According to Jamie, he was poisoned by the former Bad Boy music legend.
Really?
And it wasn't a joke. Media Takeout confirms that when Jamie uttered those words, fans initially started laughing, but then Jamie looked directly at a person in the front row and gave him a look like he wasn't joking. 3 eyewitnesses who attended tapings of the special say he discussed the allegations that Puffy caused his hospitalization, but different audience members had different reactions to what he said. Then you had earlier, a couple of months ago, Choke No Joke. It's the name of a videographer. It's a cool name, Choke No Joke. He told Comedy Hype that he attended 2 of those 3 shows. And then he uploaded a video. And he said, man, he was talking about it. I went to the first show, I went to the last show. He talked about it in both of them. I just don't know if Netflix is going to keep it in there. And now the reports are that no one sees it in the special. I will be watching this special because Jamie Foxx is a funny dude, no matter what.
Mandela effect. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, Aaron.
That's not the Mandela effect. Mandela effect is when everyone remembers something that didn't happen.
The vast majority of people,
everyone came out of that special went, wow, Jamie Foxx talked about Diddy. And Jamie's like, it never happened. That's Mandela effect. When Jamie Foxx talks about Diddy and everyone goes, wow, Jamie Foxx talked about Diddy, and Netflix goes, who? What? Oh, gotta go, guys. See you later.
Yes,
that's not Netflix.
Netflix version of the Mandela effect. Are you happy?
That's called a cover-up. That's not called Mandela effect. All right, guys. Appreciate you joining with us for our show this week. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week or something. Or not. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. We're here to have fun, guys. Shout out to Glenn. We made nice before the end of the show. I appreciate you, man. Everybody else in the chat, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Go out and have a great night.
Ryan Radke here from Westwood One. This week on Thursday night, longtime NFL head coach Ron Rivera joins me for the Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. The NFC West division race is wide open, and both teams are coming off a win. Matthew Stafford and the Rams won the first meeting, and a sweep would improve their division title hopes. Join us for all the action. Rams of the 49ers on Thursday Night Football.
Jacksonville's home for Thursday Night Football is right here on ESPN 690.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay. Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Snyderman, could you shoot lasers out of your hands?
Huh? Nope.
Can you talk to fish?
I can't get him to listen.
Can you run super fast?
Bum knee.
Then what makes you a superhero?
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
Right now, Snyderman is running a special on duct cleaning to make sure the air flowing through your house is fresh and clean. Schedule your duct cleaning today at SnyderAC.com.
Breathe easy, Jacksonville, with Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line. We got 4 lines. Cricket Nation. Cue finger guns. Really easy. Super stress free. 5G so fast. Like blazing fast. Games and memes. You'll have a blast. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. As we discuss, take it from us. We 4 are one. Cricket Nation.
And only $25 a line. Welcome to more lines. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile. You're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Discount varies by line. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Have you seen your financial freedom wiped out by stock market volatility? It's Rich Jones. Consider investing in real estate funds from DLP Capital. Don Wenner is CEO and founder.
DLP Capital has provided our investors with consistent double-digit returns by investing in cash-flowing residential real estate. For more than a decade, we have had zero losses, little volatility, and have shot above our return targets in all of our investment funds. Plus, we offer monthly distributions and tax shelter opportunities.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer. Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
I decided to do my Prize Picks lineup a little bit differently this past weekend and, a little bit of mixed results for your buddy. Hey, it's Aaron from the Aaron Schachter Show, and here's what I ended up doing. Instead of going game by game, I did position by position. So I did a all quarterbacks lineup, then I did an all running backs lineup, then I did an all touchdown scorers lineup. And here's what I found. Some of those lineups a little bit harder to hit, but the payouts were much bigger. And that really is the hook right now with Picksmas over at Prize Picks. You can make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks. It's the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. And right now you could win up to 200x your money. They're giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. By the way, Prize Picks now offering MasterCard for quick and easy deposits right into the account this sports season. So here's the play. Download the app. Use the code WOKVA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WOKVA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Hey folks, Dave Binion here with Zero Res. At Zero Res, we love rugs. We will treat your fine oriental rugs with the tender and loving care they deserve. Gerard, the Zero Res rug manager, is one of the few certified master rug cleaners in Florida. If you want your rugs cleaned with tender loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, get your rugs washed and we will give you 25% off. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
I'm Christine Lisi. ESPN's Todd Archer's reporting. Cowboys linebacker DeMarvion Overshone tore the ACL, MCL, and PCL in his right knee last night. He is scheduled for surgery this week. He will be the 13th Dallas player on injured reserve. A day after Eagles defensive end Brandon Graham reacted to receiver A.J. Brown's passing game criticism by suggesting the relationship between Brown and quarterback Jalen Hurts wasn't as good as it once was. Graham attempted to set the record straight. On the WIP morning show today, he apologized, attempted to walk back the comments, expressed optimism the team would emerge even stronger. Philly certainly doesn't need all this unnecessary noise going into Week 15, notes ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday.
What do you think the Eagles are going to deal with the entirety of this week going into a massive game with the Pittsburgh Steelers? What's going on in your locker room? Is this going to be another implosion like last year? Can you guys hold it together? Nick Sirianni, what can you do to fix this? What can you do, A.J. Brown? What can you do, Hurts?
Steelers receiver George Pickens likely out Sunday against Philly because of a hamstring injury.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen coming up Wednesday.